G'day, champions. Roger, roger. I think we're live. I think everything's good. How are we? 0.2 of a volt. I don't think that's going to even tickle. G'day Lou, how you going? You're the only one here, are you? Looks like it. I know. Just the all the stats are a bit silly when it first starts up. So yeah, we're doing a TSL 122 mainboard. Yeah, we all know the conductive issues on these things. And we all know how many techs think that they've solved it, that they've got it in the bag, and that they've cracked the code, and how fucking smart are they? But yeah, they always come back. They always fail again. So very creative methods I've seen from various techs on how to fix this. Looks like this bloke's actually replaced the valve sockets in order to get one with a long pin. You can see there. It's a PCB mount. Belton, but it would have previously had that grid terminal like cut off flush with the board like the rest of them. So he's actually replaced those sockets in order to get one with a long pin, and then he's done all this shit. He's thrown out the bias board, which is kind of dumb, but you know it's less dumb than this is. And he's used cloth wiring, so we've got another boutique fanboy, and a couple of orange drops there lifted above the board that are just floating around, easily touching other terminals, you know. So I've said it time and time again, once these boards leak, get yourself a new board. Don't try and fix it. Get them while you can, right? Because they're not going to make them forever. And this is just really amateurish, and it's come back anyway. So you know, so many times I see it. Some new upstart tech has put up a big video they're super proud of. Look, I've solved it. You don't need a new board. Like, I'm so smart. And then, yeah, what you don't see is the customer coming back 3 or 4 times in the future, or just saying, or giving up on them and going to another tech, which is what happened here. So this customer came to me and said, I want a new board. And I said, okay. He goes, don't even test it. I said, I'll test it anyway. And then, yeah, leaking. Oh, he's chucked a sprig at him down there. So he's probably spent like $100 on parts. Probably a new set of valves, because it would have cooked the old ones. And then, you know, all this clothesline shit going on. A couple of orange drops, you know, expensive parts. How you going, Alex? How you going, Six? How you going, Mark? Jeremy, how you doing? Curtis, Victor, all the usuals. Fucking champions. So, yeah, I'm unplugging these willy-nilly, but if you're going to do one of these yourself, don't do that. What I've got here is a set of notes I've written down years ago. I had to pull out my old notepad out of the filing cabinet. You never throw out your old notepads. And that's got what connector goes to what. This is all the connectors on the main board. I should make this a spreadsheet, I think, and put it up on. Oh fuck it! I'll make his pay for it. I'll put it up on my store for $5 as a PDF. Actually, I've been thinking about that. Would you guys be open to, if I have on my just online store like bradsguitargarage.com.au, things like cabinet plans and whatever, just for a token amount, like $10 for a cabinet plan, $5, whatever. And as soon as you buy it and put it in the shopping cart and check out, I'll just email it to you. Just as a token gesture, you know. I mean, clearly you could all share it between yourselves if you wanted to, but it's more buying me a coffee, you know, for the effort. Because I do put a bit of effort into my shop drawings, and sections and individual parts, so you can just go ahead and cut everything, and you can be confident that it's all going to work. I just disconnect and hope for the best. You got to figure. Just if you guys know this schematic and all the JCM 2000 series schematics, like this amp's spread across like 6 PDFs. So the reason I made that graph, that table, is because trying to figure out what connects to what is fucking painful. Because not only have you got, like, you'll have a Con 3 and a Con 3 in the same amp. They don't go to each other. Like each board has Con 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this board has Con 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Con 12 here might connect to Con 2 here. There's no logic to the numbers. It's just it's named per connector on the board, you know, starting from the left-hand side, connector 1, 2, 3. So there's no rhyme or reason to it without having the schematic and trying to pass out everything on the schematic and come up with that table is a bit painful. So if you do get into a bit of a pickle and you've disconnected it and forgotten to write it down, or what happens more often is someone has a go themselves, they disconnect everything, then they bring the amp to you in pieces. So yeah. So I've got some ambient music in the background. A bit new agey, 80s. Feel like a bit of a hippie wanker. That's alright, I like it. What's his name again? I'm getting on the Japanese kick, you know, everything's Japanese at the moment in preparation for my trip. What was his name? Hiroshi Yoshimura. We're back. What kind of temps you got in Michigan, mate? Ricky Bobby. Fastest copyright strike ever. What? Oh, because this audio cut out. Yeah. Yeah, batteries again. This thing chews through the batteries, eh? I've got a like an adapter on board, just so I can just plug the headset straight into the interface. Don't have to worry about the wireless pack. Means I'm kind of tethered to the bench, but whatever. I should be anyway because I'm so busy. You can see one of those sockets is a little bit discolored, almost like arc damage. Oh, still got one connector. Oh, your lips were moving, but nothing was coming out. I wish some other people had that feature. Yeah, you got to pay for the optional upgrade. Always bringing the comedy gold there, Seth. Alright, so there's our little board module. I've seen people pull out like all the other boards and everything just to get to it, but you can just drop this module out. Alright, there's the new one. We'll have a quick look. So the bias board was missing because they did all this bullshit. Well, let's have a look at this one first, see what they did. Let's remove it from the little carrier thing. Fuck, I'm a little bit worried actually. I'm down to my last pair of AA batteries. If that fails, we'll have to just go to the overhead mic. Let's compare. Let's compare to what it used to be back in the day. How's that? That's how it used to be. And now there's probably an inherent delay by the looks of it. How's that sound? And we'll go back to the headset mic. There we go. Just a bit of a blast from the past, you know. Show that we've actually improved some things. Believe it or not. With how shit I am at pretty much everything in my life, you sometimes forget how far you've come. So you go back and watch an old video and you'll see how shit I used to be. AM radio. Well, you know, before that mic, it used to be like this, right? So that's the shotgun mic on the top. Yeah, it used to be like this. Hang on. Alright, that's the audio you used to get. Right? That level's probably a bit lower, but you get the idea. You get the idea. So that's what it used to sound like. And then when I plug in the shotgun mic, and that's with the shotgun mic. Yeah. So that was a vast improvement. But then going to the headset was a vasterer improvement, much more vasterer. New England has been raining while the sun is actually shining. Intermittent rain and squalls all day. Wow. We've had really windy weather. We've got a total fire ban. I think it's still current, which I only discovered after starting the Weber yesterday. Whoops. Still like the 900 better sound wise. So use a headset when talking for YouTube. Got it. Well, the main reason I'm using the headset, Alex, everyone, Sirius amplification. If I say Alex, I'm referring to Sirius. If I say Six, I'm referring to Dr. Gear. Because I know these legends personally. Just to get the mic as close as possible to my mouth hole. Because that's where all the... Oh, it's missing screws too. Look. Old mate Tech. Oh, I can't find him. Fuck it. Just who cares? He's lost his screws. Fucking dumbass. See what we deal with here, champions. I reckon one of those little fender chooches might fit in that. I've got the chunky fender screws that they used in the chassis in the 60s and 70s and 80s. So if you want to know what mic gear I'm using, like what equipment, it's all in the description of every video, as well as all the tools and stuff I use. Alright, no real horror to laugh at on this side, unfortunately, but... Oh, a bit of fluid damage in this area. Which is curious, because that would have been that way. That could possibly have occurred, you know, well the previous tech had it, because it's sitting on the bench like this. You know? It's not like someone would have stored the amp upside down, because normally that's sitting upright. Weird. Oh, hang on. No, it's not a head, it's a combo. That would be upside down. Okay. So I better have a look at the cabinet and see if there's a bunch of shmoo around the... Yeah, I had in my head that I was doing a head. I'm doing me head in. Because I just completed a head unit as well. This one's actually the 100-watt combo. So there's our board with all the crazy shit on it. Now we can see it from the side. Yeah, the third socket I was just about to show. It looks like, well, the third and fourth. I don't think that's arc damage. I think that's heat. So I'm a little bit worried about this set of valves because it was operating when he brought it in and had some funkiness, but it was drifting. So maybe those two valves have overheated. And these two seem okay. The discoloration looks like heat damage rather than an actual arc. When you got arc, you'll see like a blackened, very localized blackened area. Whereas that looks like it's just sort of brown. So there you go. So yeah, looking at this side, you can see all the bastardry that's occurred here. Very nice lead dress. Look at that. Shit flown up in the air. Tack solder joins. Like all it takes is someone to bump it, and now you're touching the fucking heater line there. You got a direct connection from the grid to the heater. Yeah. Not great. That's not the heater, that's the cathode. So someone's replaced one of them. And where was the other one? There should be 4 of them. Don't make me pull out a schematic. Oh, 9R8. Alright, I'll pull out the schematic. No, not OneDrive. Fucking chud to a computer. TSL, not DSL. Alright, the 160. What's the board number? JCM2. No. I've got a folder with a lot of emails. And people that think they've fixed the problem. It's so funny. JCM 6000. JCM 260 00 02 1997. Did they come out that early? I had in my head they were around the year 2000. Anyway, rightio. Am I still on cam? Got a new Z frame stand for the camera, so now I can actually angle it where I want it, which is fun. Okay, these are different designators. 76, so that's a different revision board. You can see the caps there, how they don't seat them down far enough. They go all wiggly. They put a little bit of glue at the base, but it doesn't do anything. Come on, computer. You can do it. Come on down. What? Alright, here we are. 6002. What? Ah, it's wrong again. Alright, so let's look at the screen grid resistors. What? R60, 65, 74, 76. R60, 65, 74, 76. Okay, no, that's right. Okay, so 8, R9. R8, R9. R9 is a cathode resistor for repair. R8, don't know. R6 is a cathode resistor for the other pair. Where's R8? Well, what's it connected to? Ground on one side. So it's those two cathodes. Big ass ground plane. Oh, that's one of the heater balance. Okay, so it just had one of the heater balances in a different spot to the other, which was confusing me. It's not hard, is it? This has got the huge ass heater fuses. And R8. R8 and R78 are the heater balance resistors, and that's R78 over there. Alright, cool. Got my bearings. But it's all just bullshit anyway. I just want to know what I'm looking at. James, I have a question about those big blue and gold caps, these ones. They always look like they have a bulge. Yeah, it's just the plastic cap shrunk, man. Look. Get out, get out! Ah, you fucker. Let's be a bit more precise. You take the cover off. There is no bulge. Perfectly flat. So that's just the plastic disc on top. Just forms a bit of a curve because of the pressure from the shrink wrap on it over the years. But yeah, they're not bulgy at all. But it doesn't matter anyway because the new board's got all new ones. So yeah, what are they done? Let's have a look at what they thought they were doing. So all of this here, just floating around. They've used one of the original trim pots, I know, because it's the same type. There's the actual board. This one was missing, so I ordered a new board. Just, it's the most convenient way to mount them. It's not the best system, but it's more convenient than trying to mount something on that existing slot cutout stupid thing. And because the headers and the cable were missing as well. Well, the headers were on here, but the board and the cable were missing because this is what was put in its place. Very, very nice work, I know. So I just used some ribbon cable and just hard soldered that in place. It's just got to sit here. So that will be fine. Sits about there, a little bit below the board. Nice and neat and short as possible. But looking at this one, so they've tried to isolate the grids from the board, right? Because the board's leaking into the grids, and the grids have various traces roaming around the place. So they've cut the traces, they've lifted them off the board, they've run the grid stoppers up in midair, tack soldered them together, and run wires to the coupling caps, which they've elevated above the board here, but they were touching the pads anyway, so what's the point in elevating them if they're still touching the pad and where they were. They've changed their mind a few places because you can see some bits of wire left over where they've connected something and disconnected it later. In the process, they've ripped a few pads off, and just like none of this works. It might work short term, but eventually that conductivity spreads through the entire board, and you start getting like heater hum, 6.3 volts leaking into your signal lines. So this just change the board where you can get them. You end up spending more time and more money than doing it that way. Some of those caps have HT on the can, others don't. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, because you got some series caps there. They're 330 volt. Sorry, 330 microfarad, 315 volt. I'm reading it upside down. So they're in series. One of them will have HT. Well, there's no direct connection to the can. It's just floating on radials. On axials, you'll have a direct connection to the can. But on radials, generally, they're just floating. There's no actual electrical connection to the can itself. I'll show you. Is this a Mesa mod for Marshalls? Yeah. The old Mexican AM radio stations used to broadcast with tons and tons of reverb and echo. Some of that old Mexican live music was comically bad too. It was still the best thing on AM radio. I like listening to AM radio. Maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know. Dad's actually made some radio transmitters, so you can listen to whatever you want on a AM radio. The Valve radios here. I think I might have showed you in a previous stream when he was in town. But that's one of them there. So he's just got the little transmitter. And just give it some DC there. And antenna and audio input. And you can have a little AM radio transmitter station. So I like listening to ABC Jazz, which is a digital only station, and then you transmit it. You transmit it on the AM band to one of your Valve radios, so you can pretend you're listening to an AM radio jazz station, even though one doesn't exist here. Some of them do have a connection to the can. Really? I've never seen a radial with a connection to the can. How would you connect to the can? You like my thumbnail? Well, you know, I aim to please. She's still cold. I was going to isolate one from the board, but let's have a look if there's any conductivity to the can. So we're getting some capacitance to the can. So this is it's going to have a floating voltage on it because it's essentially like a capacitor. But I'm measuring from one pin to the can. It's about 1 meg rising. And to the other pin, it's about 2 meg rising. So there's capacitance from the can to the connections, but there's no direct connection. So yeah, there'll be a floating voltage on there, but it's not actually connected to the can. Because you look at the bottom of them, and it's literally a rubber plug with 2 leads disappearing in. See that? Snap-in caps. Anyway, enough of this rubbish. Put that one aside. Now, I've gone over this one already and checked it, as I think I've shown in a previous video, actual edited video, and I think Lyle has a few on his, about the stuff you got to do to these boards when they arrive. None of these resistors are bedded down far enough. They're not homed in on the board. Just adjust my camera angle. So you got to replay the solder, although it's lead free, so I remove it and reapply leaded solder. You don't want to have two solders mixing, leaded and lead free. Weird things happen with the alloys, but that's, well, you know, you reflow the solder and then push them all the way down, and then they've got a mechanical connection, and that applies to all five. All of these are usually pushed over in transit. All the resistors lifted off the board, so just line them up and make sure the solder joints are good. They come without fuses, so you've got to check the old ones and reuse them if possible, which I'll do. Don't ask me why they got a heater fuse on every valve. Seems a bit weird. Like, you could expect a cathode fuse, but a heater fuse? Don't know. Seems like a weird design choice. It's literally the only amp I've ever seen that on. What do I get a notification for? Oh, just Windows being silly. Silly Windows. Now we've got Aphex Twin on in the background. Very relaxing. So, we've got the fuses in. All the caps, I also reflow them and bed them into the board, because most of them are flopping around, and the little glue they do there does nothing. The cap just comes away from that really easy. It doesn't stick to fuck all, and it doesn't fill any gaps. It doesn't really do anything. One thing I do is put a little bit of silicone between the caps. Just helps to sort of damp things down and just check that you know, nothing's going to vibrate loose. These little caps down here, same deal. Just reflow the solder and push them down. I replaced this bridge rectifier. That one there. That's for the DC heaters in the first and second valve, I think. The original ones, this one's not too bad, but you can see the discoloration in this area from that bridge there not being allowed to cool down at all. It's got no airflow, so just giving it a bit of isolation from the board and lifting it up a touch. Straightening these, checking the polarity of all the caps, because Lyle had one recently, and I think one of the bias caps was back to front. So yeah, go Marshall. But this one's all good. These ones, this C46, it's like a snubber cap. It likes to go short. So just check that they've got a nice one there. That's the upgraded one. The one on the stock board, or the original boards, just one of these pissy little ceramic things. They like to go short circuit, which is another common fault in these. Focus. Come on, champ. We need a bit more light down there, don't we? Yes, so C46 is another known failure point. So they've upgraded that one at least. You know, they've learned something. That's a plus. So yeah, just a visual inspection on everything. Check all the solder joints. Check there's no packaging material stuck in the valves. Often they ship them with styrofoam, and you end up with a little foam ball stuck in the valve sockets. All of that kind of stuff. So we're good to put it back in the thingy with the stuff. But before we do that, we'll do some upgrades to the existing boards. So you can see these caps here surrounding the I think that's the low voltage supply with Zener regulation, and the Zeners like to overheat, and the resistors like to overheat the caps, and you can see they've pulled the old cap foreskin back a bit there, and they've been exposed to quite a bit of heat, so we might replace those ones. They're just 1000 mic 16 volters, 470 mic 35 volters, and same again. These resistors here, they heat the living shit out of those caps, which is another stupid thing. Like, the designers always put the caps right up against the heat generating components. You got to wonder if that's a planned obsolescence thing. So yeah, those Zeners down there, they emit quite a bit of heat too. You can see the bit of heat damage they've done to the board and their own solder connections. So we'll replace them with longer leads and lift it off. The other common failure point, which is a big one, is here you've got your ground coming in from the output transformer, your common, and then you've got your various taps here connected to the different jacks and the impedance switch. But you've got your 16 ohm jack here. Now your ground is relying on these pissy little contacts on the jack, which always fail on the 16 ohm jack in order to make its way to the rest of the contacts. So we'll put a jumper there, so there's no need to have that switched. I don't know why they did that. You can always have the ground there. It's not required to be switched. So I just put a jumper across that, as should everyone that works on one of these. Because when that contact fails, you can have zero load on the output transformer, and we all know what happens then. Flyback event. So, bit of bus wire. That rectifier bridge has a hole in the middle of it for a reason. Yeah. Bridge rectifiers are rated for a certain current, right? But that's only when they're on a heatsink. If you don't have them on a heatsink, you have to derate them. A 6 amp rectifier might only be rated at like 1 amp, 2 amp without a heatsink. So there's no real point using the big monstrous one when you've got no heatsink on it anyway, because it'd be like running a FET without a heatsink on it. It's just really silly. But heat sinks are an inconvenience, and many amp manufacturers, if something's inconvenient, they just ignore it. God bless them. But I'm trying to not be negative. So, go Marshall. I've under-caffeinated myself again too. I've only had 3 shots today. Now I'm out. So might have to venture up to the coffee shop. One problem sorted. The rest of the caps we'll replace. I'll get those Zeners out. Let's check that I've got some in stock first before we go crazy. Where's the low voltage supply? Bridge rectifier. That's your DC heaters. 3300 microfarad. It's on a different board. TSL 122 JPEG. Pfft. Looks at JPEG schematics. What's the board number? Doesn't say on this. Oh yeah, TL 106200. TL 106102. Oh man, I hate their drawing numbers, eh? PCB, rear jack PCB. Oh, well, a JPEG will have to suffice. Oh, that's annotated by someone. Whatever. 15 volts. Alright, so we can just use a 1N whatever. 53, 52, whatever it is. They've used a BZY97C, which I think is a 3 watt, although it looks like a 5 watt. BZY97C. BZY97C. 1.5 watt. It's pretty big for a 1.5 watt. What? I don't think I've got any of them. Should get some 2 watters. I can use 5 watters. I've done it before. G'day Liz, how you going, champ? Made a special transformer for a tiny, very expensive model trains that would be fried by pulse power. I didn't heat sink at Darlington. Came very close to burning the house down. Wow. No fusing. We're talking about great white sharks. That's pretty cool. I love just randomly popping into the chat and seeing what crazy stuff you guys are talking about. I love that you all chat amongst yourselves. It's good. Rightio, let's get some components together. So 470 microfarad, 35 volt. $16 volt. That's 135. Are they all 35? Yep. 3 of. I've only got 50 volters. That'll do. I have ordered more caps, but I've got to go through them all. Catalog them. So fun. Oh, let's have a quick look, eh? 471,000. I spent way too much money on components. But what do you do, eh? You can't just grow them in your garden. Unfortunately. So 220 microfarads. 220s, lots of 220s. No 470s there. I'll have to just use a 50, yeah. Check we got clearance. Morning, Dad. Yes, see you tomorrow. Put a big one over there and use one of my skinny ones. Two of my skinny ones. And 1000 microfarad, 16 volts. I'm just trying to make this amp very reliable in the long term. I need more parts drawers. It's a microfarad 16 volt. It's kind of annoying. Mouse to put like tape over the top of the Ziploc bags. It's really annoying to open. Pretty much got to get the razor blade out to cut them open. Bradwood. Okay. So someone in chat randomly became a bazillionaire and decided to open a shop right next to Bradwood's shop. Or they need to stock. I got a feeling that they wouldn't open a shop anywhere if they were a bazillionaire. I think they'd just fucking disappear, wouldn't they? One of my mates was really good friends with this woman that won like $5 million or something. And first it was all fun and she paid for everyone's to like just travel around with her. And then she sort of started getting the shits at them being moochers. So she started like alienating them. And then she became friends with all these other actual moochers who were like all beautiful people and stuff, but they would just basically preyed on her and like just played on her mind and like, you know, popularity contest. It was like sort of housewives kind of vibes, right? What's the show? Real bitchy anyway. So she alienated all her real friends. She purchased basically all these fake friends, and then within 2 years, I think she was broke again. And now all the fake friends don't want to know her, and now all the real friends don't want to know her either. So yeah, you got to be careful what you do if you win the lotto. You got to come up with a plan pretty quickly, I think, because everyone will come out of the woodwork. You know the Eric Clapton song. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. Live the life of a millionaire. I'd prefer to not win the lotto, I think. I think it would be something that, when it actually happens, wouldn't be that good. I think winning just like 20 grand would be good. Money will ruin your life. That's why I decided to become a licensed sound engineer, yeah. That's why you do have wacky pointless crap with your money, like a shop next to YouTube Amp Tech. Yeah, tax write-off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure pretty much everyone I know, if they won the lotto, you wouldn't hear from them for a year. They'd just disappear. Got the wrong size tip. Well, on there, we'll just seat these power resistors. This is leaded solder, so I can just reflow it because it's regulations. If I became rich overnight, like multiple $1 million rich, I don't know. I think I would just enroll in as many courses as I can, learn as many languages as I can, get accredited, like music-wise. Just study. I think I'd just study the whole time if I became a millionaire. Because, like, I don't know, some millionaires just seem really content with being, like, ridiculously stupid. Like, really low IQ. But I think if I had the money that I didn't have to worry about, like, paying bills and shit, I'd just study the whole time. Thirst for knowledge. Unfortunately, not enough resources to get it all. Yeah, it's about that. 74, including GST, about 74, maybe $75. fuck, we were almost a parody there at one point. Times have changed. So yeah, it's a good time to export stuff to the States. The problem is the shipping's just a pain in the ass. Shipping anything's a pain in the ass these days. Like, I had a guy that purchased a massive heavy amplifier off my web page, and he's like, I said it says local pickup only, and it says that request to ship will be ignored, but he still emailed anyway and kept emailing until I responded. I said no, and then he's like, yeah, but shipping's like $60. Well, not really. So I said, all right, I'll get you a quote. So we got him a quote. It was about $100 shipping, not to the States, just to Australia. But shipping, like $100 shipping's one thing, but you got to box this 20 kilogram amplifier somehow so it won't get damaged and won't, damage the box itself and fall out of it. So it took me like an hour to pack the thing. So do I charge another $100 for that hour? And then insurance on top. If anything goes wrong, you'll want a refund. So I'll have insurance for that. Then you got to read the insurance and make sure that it does cover what you're doing, because they'll do anything they can to weasel out of it. It's just a whole bunch of problems and just stuff to worry about and things that stress me out. So yeah, I don't think I'll do that again, because that's a pain in the ass. I sort of complied to his requests, and I should stand my ground a bit harder, I think, in the future, because time is money. Fuel costs are going up and up. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about selling the van. Just walk to work. Get fit too. I've got a 2014 High Ace. I bought it for 30 grand. Probably get that again for it because of the supply issues. 35 volt. 470 micros. 470 oofs. Yeah, the glue doesn't even stick to the board. Look, it just falls off. Oh, I gotta open the shop. It's 9:05. Better put some less creepy music on too. Aphex Twin. Stone in focus. How about Double J? We'll play Double J. They're playing the Rapture. Nice. Haven't heard from them for a while. One of the girls next door has purchased the same car as Michelle's. So I went to put something in the car the other day, and I'm pressing the button and go, what's going on? And then I realised, oh, it's not Michelle's car. I'm trying to get into the next door neighbour's car. Open up the shop. Hey, you come into my shop. Yeah, I just thought doing a live stream today would be interesting because it's a bit of a paint by numbers job. I should just do more fly on the wall type streams. It just sucks when you got to keep muting it when customers come in. It'd be cool if they bought stuff, but they rarely do. They just want to talk for hours and get me to repair their $100 guitar. Go down a tip size. during COVID, I bought a Epiphone Carina 1958 Explorer. It was damaged during shipping. It cost over $300 to ship it back to the mainland. Yeah, see what I'm talking about? And unless you got insurance, you cop that yourself. I think shipping's such a scummy thing. Like, how, in what other industry are you allowed to damage shit and not have to pay anything unless they've got insurance and paid for insurance? Like, it should come out of their pocket. They should get their pay docked. They'd fucking be careful then, wouldn't they? Is that a Rolex watch? Oh yeah, all the way. Rolex. What planet are you on? But there you go, Brendan. And g'day, Richard. What's going on, champ? .470 microfarad. We'll go 50 volt. These are 105 rated too, which is a bit nicer than the 85s that come in the stock circuits. They're a little bit skinnier, a little bit taller. So they should be able to deal with the heat even better because of their form factor. We'll put a little bit of silicon between them just because they are taller. G'day, Cobber. .85 rated caps right next to a fucking 5-watt resistor. Good on you, champs. Actually, while I got that out, we'll change those Zenas, lift them off the board a little. Just cut them right at the base to avoid damaging the pads any further than they already have from the heat. Morning, Matty. How you going, champ? Where are you based, Matty? Morning, you must be Australian or New Zealand. Only 84, see right, yeah. Be very careful with pads where there's been existing heat damage, because the glue that holds them onto the board's already probably degraded somewhat. Get a couple new Zenas. Zeners. 1N5352. A little bit overrated, but it'll still go into regulation. It's fine. It's fine. Got those big ass power resistors dragging them, so they'll be right. You see similar circuits to this, depending on the input voltage, but you see similar circuits to this in the Fender stuff, the Zener regulators, and I've upped them to like 470 from 330 or 220, and it reduces the power dissipation in the diode, but it still regulates fine. I think they went a bit hard with trying to make as stiff as possible a supply when they probably didn't have to worry about it that much. They just fit in the PCB holes. Put some little kinky kinks in it. Drop all my shit off my tool wall. Yeah, great. Fuck off over there. Suppose I should show you some detail, eh? These little chooches. Every time I use them, people go, "Where'd you get them?" I think they're obsolete now because they were an Italian-made thing, but I think China started ripping them off, so they couldn't compete with the Amazon intellectual property thieves. So even though I think it's a patented design. Oh, it said on one of them patent. Yeah, don't know. In Phoenix, Arizona. This is a little bit tricky working on the board here. I'm going to space these Zenas away a bit from those caps, give them a fighting chance to survive. God knows Marshall didn't. You can get like 125 or 150 rated degree rated caps, but yeah, the price goes up exponentially because they tend to be special purpose kind of deals. Alright, totally missed the eclipse. Yeah, I saw some photos of the eclipse. We didn't catch it here, so I saw some photos from the States though. Just make sure those caps are seated. Fully sick, bro. So now the backboard's prepared and upgraded to last a bit longer. We'll clean the jacks and stuff as well. I've already reflowed their solder joints. Although I think I missed... Did I miss that one? Looks like I missed one of the pins. There's no flux on those two. Just go over all of them, eh? Being that it's leaded solder on this one, we can just reflow some fresh flux. Flux on, flux off. That foot switch connector is actually screw mounted, that's good. And that DI line output XLR connector, I'll just give a quick reflow, but it's screwed to the chassis as well. So not too bad. Just these plastic bushing jacks are a bit flimsy. What solder am I using? The junky tin stuff or the good old leaded solder? This leaded solder, mate. I think I've got a link to it in the description of the video. All my tools and shit are in the description of every video, in case you didn't know. Oh, there you go. Richard's already kicked in. That's what it is. Screenshot that. There you go. Pause. We'll see you in a minute. Ah, g'day Lyle. Yeah, it's the standard operation procedure on a TSL or a DSL. It's one of the most common amps that come in here. What's the best replacement for those junky plastic jacks? Unfortunately, just another junky plastic jack. There's not really anything you can do there because of the space constraints. You can't mount a switchcraft because it's too close to the circuit board. You can't cut sections of the circuit board out because there's a million traces there. There's no, just replace it if you need to and just deal with it. It's not too hard to get to, so it's not the end of the world. It's not like you got to fully undo the whole thing to get to them or anything, so you just got to put the same ones back in. There are copies, and then there's I can't remember the name of the brand that makes them. These are like clip style on the speakers, and then these are like your Fender style. I think Electro Harmonics sell them under the New Sensor brand, but I don't know who actually manufactures them. There's a few manufacturers. You can get really shitty ones from Tater Electronics for like 20 cents each, or you can get half decent ones. I just get them from Wes Components, Wagner Electronic Services in Summerhill here, or you can get them from like CE Distribution, Tube Depot, all those kind of places. I think they have them as well in the States. They're very common, which is why they're in every amp, I guess. At least these ones have like the metal insert, so the whole tip doesn't get ripped off, sheared off. Alright, I think we're good there. I'll just clean the flux off a bit. Oh, come back. It's really weird weather here at the moment. It's gone real cold again. Well, not real cold. It's like 20 degrees. But we had some like 35 degree days, and then it's just dropped back down again. Very windy. I'm going through a thing again where I'm really hating editing video. So I'm going back to my roots where I'm just going to live stream every other day. Trying to come up with shit to say and just make sure you cover all the bases that you want to talk about and stuff. It's just so painful, and then editing. But anyway. They're only using one pole of the impedance switch. I've seen it burn. I connect the unused pole. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Oh yeah. Yeah, right. They are just using one pole. I've never seen that fail, but it's probably not a bad idea. Anyone been watching the rugby? Nah. Couldn't give a flying fuck about football, to be honest. Never-ending saga of bullshit. My team's better than your team. No, my team's better than your team. Fuck off. Never liked sport. It just seems really pointless to me unless you're doing it for the fitness. I don't like competitive sports, but... Yeah, why would you just use one pole, you nuffy fucks? This guy has a Vox AC30CH, which I just finished. Oh, fucking got the tiny tip on there again. And a Marshall Super Lead reissue, which has been modified to have an extra valve by Pete Reynolds. And did a service on that one. Sounds very good. Did some upgrades to the AC30. And this is the last one. I was just waiting for the board to arrive. Come on, warm up. Mouser locked me out of my account as a bot yesterday. I was cutting and pasting part numbers to look for obsolete parts. Really? What? That seems weird. I copy and paste stuff in a Mouser all the time. I would potentially care more if the city team was made more of people from that city. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's just a money-making venture now, isn't it? So we've got teams that buy and sell players all the time, like everywhere else, I guess. But then we've got a different round where they pull the players from each team and they have State of Origin, it's called, and that's actually kind of a bigger deal than the grand final. So that's Queensland versus New South Wales. So even if you've got like a Queensland player that plays for New South Wales now, they play for Queensland and it's like a grudge match. And yeah, like they'll be playing their teammate and they'll like punch on with them. Just throw down right in the middle of a game. And yeah, the passions are on high. So if anything, I'll probably watch... because everyone becomes a football fan for grand final, for State of Origin. But as for the normal team thing, I couldn't give a fuck. You got a cure for this guy. He talks funny. Whatever. You're named after 2 different types of cheese, Colby Jack. Having one cheese-related name's bad enough, but you're named after 2 types of cheese. What's up with that? Do your parents like cheese that much? Fair enough. Cheese is pretty good. Rory Garrett out of his AC30 treble booster into the normal channel. Oh, there you go. I've been listening to a bit of Rory Gallagher, trying to, because I didn't really know anything about him, and just trying to get up to speed on some of that stuff. Just bands I never listened to, like played UFO all yesterday. Didn't really like. It's fine. But it didn't really blow my skirt up as much as I thought it might. I'm more of a pentagram and dust kind of guy, if you're talking that era. What's the power cord retainer tool called? It's a YTH205. I didn't put it up because there's no reliable source of it that I could find other than like Amazon, and I don't want to advertise anything for Amazon. Of course, you find the one tool I didn't list, didn't you? Fucking Fucking commenters. I think Americans put both cheeses into one and call it cold. Oh, okay. So he is named after a cheese. He's named after a cheese in that case. Rightio. Clean these jacks and put the board back in. Once we've put the main board back in anyway, because we need to leave it loose to access the connectors. So I've had a lot of people approaching me for advice, or either on repairs or what amp to buy. Like to the point where it's kind of getting annoying. Like 3 or 4 emails a day, and they don't take no for an answer. So I'm thinking about how to monetize that. Do we bring in memberships? And you've got to be a member to even get an answer to an email, because as I'm getting more and more requests for information, we're gonna have to do something to keep it under control, or at least, you know, make it worthwhile to do. So I don't know, what do you reckon I should do? I don't really have time to read, like, some of these emails are like 1,500 words long. I just don't have time. So I'm wondering what to do there. What do you reckon would be a good idea? Should we implement YouTube memberships? So I don't mind helping someone out, but I can't afford to do it for free. Not exactly rolling in cash here, legends. Bradbot. Fuck. Do you really want humankind to come to an end that quickly? Patreon or locals? Yeah, I was thinking about Patreon. I am on Patreon, but as a donor, I haven't started any of my own things. But Patreon and YouTube, I know Big Clive does that. And I guess if YouTube just canned my channel out of the blue for no reason, which they're known to do, I guess I'd still have Patreon. But then I'd sort of feel pressured to make extra content on Patreon. Don't know. Am I going to snooker myself by needing to make extra content? You can do eBay as a service. Yeah, I don't want them taking a cut though. Advocate the worst amp, then be quids in with what? Then be quids in with the repairs. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying, but I like it. Yeah. Just give the effects loop jacks a little bit of a chooch. I get novel length emails. I don't know my exact mods people wanting. Yeah. People just asking me to tell them stuff that I think is pretty rude to ask, you know? Like, stuff that makes my service me. Yeah, I had a guy the other day. He's like, I want to get my amp service. How much and how long? I'm like, I don't fucking know. You said amps. How many amps have you got? Have you got like 50? Have you got 1, 2? I don't know what's wrong with them. Oh yeah, but roughly how much? I'm like, I don't know. Oh, just an estimate. I don't know. You could have a blown power transformer, you could have someone that's gone in there and gutted it and made some fucking Frankenstein that I've got no idea what it is. Like, I just like, dude, come on, give me something to go off. Now I don't even want to think, because then they'll try and hold you to the price later. Like, come on, man. I'm not, you know, it's hard enough to make a living how it is. I'm not going to clamp down to whatever price you've decided you want to pay. Bring it around, pay the bench fee, then you can get an estimate after that. Otherwise, too bad. So that's pretty much how it has to go. I give out free advice all the time. Yeah, but people don't want to watch the videos, Lyle. It's like they just want an answer straight away. Lewis Rossman had that all the time. They're like, what's happening when my PP bus is not coming up from 1.3 volts? And he's like, watch the videos. Yeah, but what is it? No, watch the videos. Like, he makes all these videos for a reason. And he actually names them after the fault. Like, it could not be easier to learn, but people still don't want to. Maybe you and Lyle could make amps and then tell people to buy them. Well, there is that too. We've got to stop repairs though. I have no idea, but I think you need a solution that works for you. Mainly, you're running a business at the end of the day. Yeah, people forget that, Richard. People forget that I've got overheads here. Like, there's a certain amount of days or whatever that you've got to work just to cover the overheads, and you haven't even made any money yet. Just tell everyone $500 and be done with them. Yeah. Yeah. They get pissy when you say you want money, though. Oh, well, fucking doesn't take that much to help. Like, yeah, okay. Never occurs to people to search for topics on my channel. Yeah, I have playlists for days. That's right. So much you can learn. Yeah, it sucks when your PP bus doesn't work, Matt. I think there's pills for that. Oh yeah, he had his fun with that little thing. Alright, now I need some screws to replace the missing ones, because obviously there won't be any for the bias board either, because it was missing. Oh, do I have to replace the... Oh, they don't even give you standoffs, the cheap fucks. Fucking Marshall. Gotta reuse your standoffs off your old board. Fucking Marshall. Alright. You should be making these for free, you thieving fucks. You should have fucking been sued into oblivion for this whole saga, but no, you're making us reuse the fuses and reuse the standoffs. Fucking criminals. $50 minimum. Yeah, I'm thinking about 50 or $100. Yeah. $50 for help may or may not be after a whiskey or two. $100 for help with just coffee. Get in my belly. Oh, come on, you fuck. These are the pissiest little standoffs ever. I'll give out cheese advice. Alright, what kind of cultures should I use to start a blue cheese? A nice, or maybe a gorgonzola. What cultures are used for that? Colby Jack. I think I need a screwdriver. Increase the risk of putting it through my hand. Ah, gotcha. 5 questions maximum. At least they aren't messy standoffs. Yeah, I just ordered a bunch of them. Colby Jack wouldn't be much worse than those. They are cheese, yeah. I went through that give me a price bullshit. I jacked up my bench fee way up. Made part of it refundable. That sure weeded out a lot of time, Bennett. Web form for all AMP inquiries. That's what I'm doing at the moment, Lyle. A few people still have a number, but they're the OG customers. I don't mind answering the phone to them, but generally I'm trying to make the phone not ring ever. And people get very upset, particularly the old blokes, because they do not want to deal with technology. Oh, too bad. I don't have time to chat to you all day. I'm sorry. I helped Yeatsy guitar with his Vibrolux. I was on Messenger with him for hours. Oof, that was transactional. Yeah, well, he makes good videos, and I think he's got what it takes. I think he'll get there. I like him. He should swear more though. If you're watching Yeatsy, oh you fucker. Speaking of swearing, if you're watching Yeatsy, make sure you swear more, mate.
That's the recipe for success, okay? Look at Lyle's channel. He took off when he started swearing.
My old man used to have a sign in his shop, 100... Yeah, I've seen those signs, RJ. They're good signs. Personally, I watch and watched almost every amp tech videos made. Hi, Lyle. I consider you guys as mentors. Oh, you're up shit creek then. I'm here to learn by passion and still have a million questions to ask. Yeah, ask away. If I'm on chat, I'll answer stuff. That's fine because I've made the decision to be here. But when I'm getting emails at, you know, midnight and shit, not that I answer them then. Like, of course, no one expects me to answer that. It's an international thing. I'm the dickhead that chose to be on YouTube, so of course you're going to get international emails, but there's a lot of people that just demand stuff, so I think I need to rein that in somehow. Oh, come on, you fuck. What a joke that they don't give you the fucking standoffs. It's because they know they're pieces of shit. That's why. Ah, gotcha. G'day, Scotty. Yeah, he's a fantastic player. I've got to work on my playing a lot. I've noticed my playing's really going downhill rapidly. Because I'm just spending every fucking waking moment in this shop. I need to get passionate about guitar again instead of playing the same fucking 4 riffs over and over again. I need to resume my study of music, essentially. That's what it comes down to. Because I've forgotten pretty much everything I learned. If you don't use it, you lose it. You sure do. Come on, don't break, last one. Gotcha! Alright, you can fuck off for good now. Piece of shit. The owner wants the old board back so he can throw darts at it. I said that's a very good purpose for it. I was before the wood planer accident. Yeah, that would have sucked. It's very hard because a lot of the other channels where they demo stuff, they're also showing off their playing. I try and play stuff that would be like, it's a conscious effort to play stuff that is more in the theme of like real use scenario of an amp. So like, yeah, not everyone's playing like Steve Lucas style leads. A lot of people are just playing rhythm guitar, right, their whole career. So I try and play some stuff that's like more song oriented stuff. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. Oh, Darren. Thanks, mate. $10. Legend. Just a thanks for the in-depth amp fix video. Which one was that? Celebrate the first super chat from Darren. Okay, let's celebrate. Richard. Legend. How do I celebrate? Oh, I click the let's celebrate first super chat, and then a window comes up, says remove or report. YouTube's broken, man. That's how my ulnar lobes are relocated. How the fuck do they do that? People have criticised the prod on my channel because they aren't playing their preferred genres. Yeah, fuck them. Steve Lucas is so underrated. Pros. The people that criticising the professional players because they're not playing their preferred genres. Really? Oh man. Oh, this human race is doomed, isn't it? Sorry, you're not playing fucking grindcore. You're not playing hip hop. You're not playing South Sandwich Island folk music about whaling. If I make an amp that is cathode bias, can I switch between 6V6 or EL34 considering I have a power transformer that is big enough? And Lyle responds, you can, but it will sound better with one or the other because those tubes need very different primary impedances. There you go. That'll be $50. Oh. I think these are JIS screws. Oh, what? We had a kid in woodshop get his hand sucked into a shaper blade, ripped the end bone out of his index finger. 3-phase motor with the drum switch. Wire backwards. I used to use what you call a shaper. So when you're saying a shaper, are you talking about metalwork? Oh no, you said wood shop. So shaper means a spindle router over here. We call it a spindle. I used to use a spindle all the time. Every day. And I'd sharpen and balance the blades. They're all high-speed steel. I'll grind them on a bench grinder. Make custom profiles and stuff because they didn't want to pay for the actual blade guy to do it. Ridiculous looking back at the shit that I used to do for those companies. Not playing Nordic folk metal? I'm out. Thanks, Mark. Bloody hell. $30 now. That's enough for... oh, is that US? So that's like $87. No, that's wicked. Thank you, legends. Well, I'm going to... Dad's coming to town tomorrow. Mum and Dad are coming to town tomorrow. And I think that might go towards a pint at the end of the week. A wee pint over at Mountain Culture Brewing. Like a router table. Yeah, a massive overgrown router table. G'day, Pete. How you going, champion? I would like to see Eric Clapton play a few tunes after he is repaired. Yeah, true. When you look at it like that, true words. True words, Pete. I had a dream last night. You just reminded me. I had a dream that I was at the home workshop and I got a phone call from like a mutual friend, and they said Sting's in town. Now, I'm not even a Sting or Police fan really, but I can understand his massive sway. Sting's in town. He's got a guitar he needs repaired rapidly. His normal guy just is on holidays or something. We're like a block away. We're coming around, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm at the home workshop, which is not the shop, and it doesn't look as professional as the shop. So I'm like, can you bring him to the shop? And they're like, no, we're near your house. We've got to come to your house. I'm like, what? All right. And I'm trying to get a photo of us, and it's just in the shitty garage. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. I'm trying to convince him to drive down to the shop just to take a photo. And I happen to have a 57 Bassman on the bench, like a genuine one, and I was like restoring it, and he was like, oh yeah, having a look at it and that. Such a random dream. And then he asked to use the toilet, and I'm like taking him inside past all the laundry and shit in the hallway, and don't mind that, Sting, it's fine. I'm like, shit, I hope I clean the skid marks off the toilet. Such a random dream. Matt, hey, Brad's Guitar Garage. Whatever happened to the fire damage Martin? I've still got it. The guy is a bit special. like he's eccentric. Not saying he's mentally incapacitated or anything. He's a very eccentric dude, and the shop that I was doing it through, he's trying to get like money out of him every chance they can, because I said it's a huge job. You're going to be putting 50% down before I start it, and it's just sit and stand by. I'm about to take it back to him and say, look, that quote that you agreed to, because they haven't put a dollar down on it yet, that quote that you agreed to is no longer valid because it's like 2 years ago, guys. Here's the guitar back. Can you just, when you've got the 50% already, give it back to me? Or do you just want $500 for it as is, and I'll just fix it up for my channel and then sell it? Because apparently he got a new one on insurance anyway, so he's sorted. It's an Eric Clapton signature, so the thing's like, what are they, like $7,000? But now it's got a story to tell too. My guitar is signed by Sting. Wow, that's pretty cool. Just got to look back. Saw someone get an internal injury from board kicking out of a table saw. Yeah, had a petrified knot hidden in it. Idiot criticised Steve Selvage for not playing rock when he tested a Marshall. Steve was playing Led Zeppelin. Oh, God. Colby Jack, thanks, mate. Trav, legend. Are you still planning on a 5K sub celebration? Are you just too busy? I'm just too busy at the moment, Trav, but I'm still thinking about what to do. I think I might do a Meet the Champions. What do you reckon? Have you all got... I'm just worried about the video thing, like you'll all be on phones and shit. I'm just worried that the audio might be pretty terrible and whatever. But yeah, Meet the Champions would be good, eh? Sit around, have a beer, and put whoever's up for it. Give you the floor for 10 minutes. Tell us a bit about yourself. How'd you find the channel? What are you into? You know, what's your blood type? What's your mother's maiden name? That kind of thing. What was your first car? All the stuff that the boomers answer on Facebook. No, just introduce yourself and say g'day and have a laugh. Maybe a question or two each if they've got any questions. Maybe somewhere a little bit more exotic than the old shop too, with a nice background. I can help you set up Discord for it if you want to do it. Yeah, I'm on Discord. 6. I'm not sure that a lot of people on here would use Discord though. See, that's my conundrum. How much tech are we going to rely on for the champions? Is that screw too long? Yes, it is. It will be what it is, mate. Yeah. That would be fun. You could call me an idiot in person. I wouldn't do that to you, Scotty. Juan! Brad's Beer Fun. Fuck yeah, it's getting up there today. It might even be whiskey. Legends. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I enjoy doing this. I'd do it if there was zero money in it anyway. But it is nice to see something for all the camera gear and shit and lighting and microphones and wireless. I mean, this microphone alone is $600. It's good to get a little bit of return from it. More people than you think use it. Okay. So, the other thing I was thinking about, Legends, is a lot of you probably won't even know what this is, but it's starting to simulcast stream on Twitch. Because I had a look at Twitch. It's mainly gamers. There's like 2 tech channels on Twitch. There's like 2. It's so untapped. And I like to stay current with all the stuff the young'uns are using. And I think it's kind of untapped. I think we should tap it. We should tap that. No skin off my nose. We'll just use Restream and stream to 2 platforms at once. No biggie.
Alright, we're ready for installation. I'm only on friendly, well-moderated service. Trolls and arseholes not allowed, yeah. Oh yeah, I do a lot of moderation. That's a lot of a lot of the stuff you don't see behind the scenes too, all the moderation we do. Getting rid of all the nutcases. Going pretty good on this channel because quite a few of yous I trust, and you're my mods. I see some other channels where the trolls just have free reign. They don't even, and same with Facebook groups. You got some of these Amp Tech Facebook groups where there's like one guy that runs it, and that just like someone puts up some spam or a like malicious link, and it doesn't get taken down for like a week because no one's modding it, and the guy logs into Facebook like once a month. So that's no good. You can't be doing that shit. If you run a channel, you run a channel. Travis, thanks mate. Get some whiskey. Fuck yeah, I will. I've actually got heaps of whiskey at the moment. I'm gonna stop buying some for a bit. I think it's time to dial it back a touch. I've got 2 bottles of Nikka, 2 bottles of Fuji. This is unopened. 1 bottle of Ardbeg, unopened. A bottle of Talisker, unopened. I'm just waiting for Dad to come to town. Well, that's happening tomorrow, isn't it? Reddit is dig too, which is using it to most toxic place I've ever seen besides 4chan and Twitter. Yeah, Twitter's just dead now. Twitter's dead. Facebook's pretty well dead too. All Facebook is just fucking just memes now. That's all it is, just memes. You don't see anything your friends are doing because it all gets drowned in memes and ads and bullshit. It's just, they've gotten too greedy and now they've just made their platforms irrelevant. Good on them. Yay, capitalism. Couldn't join your group because I don't know fuck all about ADDA converters. Well, learn, Scotty. Mate, you know what you got to find out, so learn it. That's more than I'll drink in my life. What? That's about 3 or 4 months around here. Yeah, that's not counting the Glendronach, the shit, trying to remember now. Glendronach, the Linkwood, the Westwood. I've still got 2. I've got 1 unopened bottle of Westwood rum cask. That's the 62% stuff I was drinking during the Quake stream, which Lyle mislabeled the Doom stream. I tried to get Doom working. It didn't like OBS. Alright, let's find some other screws to replace these ones. I think the little fender ones will work with clearance because that board's a good 3/4 of an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch below it. I think I've got that in the amp hardware box. Where are you? There we are. Building a couple of pedals at the moment. I was going to live stream that, but I just do it to relax. You got that much whiskey, I should stop by, yeah. Got to grab new HDMI cable for my overhead cam. I can finally start streaming for the hell of it. Yeah, do it for the hell of it, man. Just do it because it's fun. I don't give a shit about ADDA conversion. Yeah, but you know. It's to filter out people that don't have a thirst for knowledge, Scotty, so clearly it worked with you. So is that about the Nyquist frequency? The question about the Nyquist frequency? Well, look up Nyquist frequency, NYQUIST frequency, and then you'll be able to answer that question. The owner of the Rust Bucket Basement said he was bringing whiskey when we do his playing test video. That should make a more fun video for you guys. Yeah! Saturday night I had 4 glasses of Pinot, 3 cups of coffee. Very balanced approach. Yeah, Chocolate Doom. Oh. Chocolate Doom and GS Doom. Yeah, I wanted the original controls though. He's looking for Messer screws. Are they the same on Messers? Was mildly relaxed. Yeah, it'll do that to you. Here we are. Boom. Fender self-tapping screws, set of 6 from amprepairparts.com. I must have ordered something from there and I just grabbed a set of them too. I know Nyquist 3 of them. Well, you should be able to answer the question then, Scotty. That's exactly what it is. I think the question goes something like, what is the maximum frequency able to be recorded given a sampling frequency of 44.1 kilohertz, which is CD quality? Oh, it's a new Coffin song. You guys like Coffin? Coffin, not like what happens when you got COVID. Ardbeg Ergadale. Yes, that's what Dad has. I've got the Anoa 1 litre bottle. Ardbeg Anoa. One of our friends went overseas and it was duty free. They got me a bottle of that 1 litre for like 70. No, what was it? 114 bucks. That was pretty damn good. Considering it usually goes for about 180. Well, it goes for 160, I think. 160 to 180 in the 700ml bottle. Yeah, 22.05. Yeah, that's right. So that's the question, Scotty. Did it still reject you? Jerry, thanks, mate. $10. I hear July is a good vintage for whiskey. it's the only month that it survives around here, mate. I tried the non-alcoholic spirits and they really, really sucked. I'm never doing that again. It was like watered down tea mixed with fucking washing detergent. It was not good. Alright, 2 missing screws replaced, the rest of the screws installed. Now we'll reinstall these little mini screws that hold the sub-assembly to the main chassis. Saw someone was advertising an amplifier chassis on eBay. It was like a Fender, I don't know, Sidekick or something. And they actually wrote chassis, S-H-A-Z-Z-Y. I had to laugh to myself, so you guys might like that. Hard to drive more than 20k before bumping into a distillery these days in Tasmania. Yeah, they're everywhere, eh? Are you in Tassie, are you, Simon? You got Lark, you got Sullivan's Cove. What else is there? We've got Archie Rose in Sydney. I've been meaning to do a tour there. I didn't answer any of the questions, but they let me in, but I don't post in there no time. Yeah, it's just for searching, Lyle. It's more of a database now that it's been going for a while. Talisker, now we're talking. Yeah, Talisker 10-year-old was one of the first sort of smoky bottles that I got and I liked very much. I've got the Parley limited edition from the Whiskey Club, which I still haven't opened yet. Wait until Dad comes to town and have a big smoky peaty whiskey. A Peter for Peter. Put a shot of whiskey in it. There's a bar in Sydney. Oh, hang on, Scotty. I think the way the question was posed through me, I wasn't sure what it meant. I think it was asking about bit density and kilobits per second and sample frequency aren't the same thing. I thought it was just sample frequency, unless I worded it wrong. 8 bits floating point. No, this doesn't depend. It'll still just, you can only record a frequency without aliasing that is below half of the sampling frequency. Now we've got to figure out how to put all this shit back in. What was I saying? Yeah, there's a bar. 48 kilohertz. Okay, so it was 24. There was a bar in Sydney that does Boilermakers, which is a beer with a shot of some spirit. And it's there's a lot of bars these days that are marketed as like modern day speakeasies. So they're all underground and shit. They look really cool. I'd have to borrow a flat cap off 6 to go to those bars though, otherwise they won't let me in, but I do have the beard now, so all I need is a pipe and I'll be ready. Lag 16 was my first ILA Scotch, still one of my favourites, but a little rich for my blood. I'm on Wild Turkey budget. Yeah, well, Lag 16 is definitely one of the very best, but when I got into whiskies, they're about 120 bucks. Now they're like 220, I've seen. It's just ridiculous. Since 2021, it's gone up by 100 bucks a bottle, and that's just fucked. So they can stick that up their ass. 21-year-old Jamison's, yeah, Jamison's is good, but it's not very distinct. I like Connemara from Ireland, or Redbreast. What's the other one? Redbreast. Glendalach. I don't know. I'm losing my memory. Probably because of the whiskey. One thing I didn't do was check those fuses electronically. I looked at them visually, but let's check that they've actually got continuity. Continuity! Yes. 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 Balvenie. Doublewood is a nice one, yes. The Caribbean cask is one of my favourites too. I'm involved in data preservation of old media, and we found that double frequency is not enough in many cases. We're talking from theory. You can recreate a square wave of that frequency at double the frequency. I'm not talking compression kilobits per second. I'm talking direct conversion. I haven't even looked at what they cost now. No point. Got a Teeling single malt. It's really nice if we're talking Irish. I tried their Guinness cask. I wasn't very impressed. Oh yeah, with tapes. Oh, hiccups. Pardon me. There's gin everywhere now. It's just... Gin's boring. It's just flavouring added to ethanol. Meh. Anyone can do that. Alright, pull out my connector chart. So, connector, let's do the spade connectors first. So that's connector 14, W13, white, black, white. This black's got a sheath on it, that goes to W12, wire 12, I guess it stands for, wire 11. That's the low voltage windings. W10 and W9 are the HT. The purple one is the bias feed, that goes to W8, I believe. 7. What was that on the old one? Oh, wrong way. W8. Oh, W7, purple. So what's W8 go to? Nothing. It's just another ground connection. W6. Got the output transformer. It's a center tap. Yeah, we love a good tangent, Scotty. In an old audio group I was in, I put up 2 clips, one labelled 24-bit, one labelled 16-bit. People clearly heard the differences. Commented on them at length. It was the exact same clip. Yep. That's how it works. Try to stay away from gin or tequila. You can get the Navy strength gin over here, and it's like 70%. It's fucking almost ever clear. I did that once with Tube Screamer clones while showing a picture of an 808. Every one of them was the same clone. People said the 808 sounded best. Yep. Double blind test. That's right, Terry. There was a website with a quiz on it that had a bunch of clips at different sample rates and compressions. Basically, no one could really get above the chance probability, yeah. People listen with their mobile phone, though. Like, they're like, oh, it sounds a bit tinny. It's like, yeah, but you're listening on an iPhone speaker. I can hear the garbage YouTube compression, though. Yeah. I set the bitrate as high as I can in here, but there is a limit. W3. A couple of ones missing here. W5. I've forgotten to write it down. Have to resort to the schematic. W5 is the center tap of the output transformer. And that is what that is. Just confirm that's the center tap. 16 ohms, that rings a bell. Yep, 16 ohms. 32 from side to side, 33 from side to side. So blue is the center tap. Why did I not write that? W5. I will make a chart for these as soon as I find a pen. Alright, let's put the headers on. What are you talking about? YouTube compression, that's going harder. 70%. You could clean waxy boards with that. Yeah, you probably could. That's why I upload everything in 4K now. Not for the video, but because YouTube uses less compression for 4K audio. Yeah. That sucks how it's not a separate setting, eh? You've got all this fucking data flying around just to get good audio. When it doesn't, it's not really needed. You just need a good audio. Anyone here heard a zero oversampling DAC? No. No oversampling filters. It's basically a resistor ladder. You can make one out of discrete resistors if you wanted to. I'm not across that, Scotty. Sony used to have a single bit DAC. Yeah, that was in all their hi-fi stuff, wasn't it? I remember seeing it on the front. That was just PCM though, wasn't it? At least I'm finding out which whiskey to look for. Connemara's good, Victor. If you like, do you like smoky whiskies, peated whiskies, Victor, or do you like the fruity ones or the dry ones? Alright, headers. Header time. So, this is a bit tricky now. So, con 1 on the front middle board. Con 1, yep, goes to con 2 on the main board. Pissy little connectors. Con 6 on the front middle board. Goes to con 3 on the main board. You could just sit and write all this out from me talking, couldn't you? Con 8 on the front bottom board. So con 8 on the front bottom board goes to con 4 on the main board. I think from memory one of these connectors is labelled differently from the original boards or something too. I'll have to check that out. I think I was down to one. And there was the only one left, so I looked at the schematic and confirmed that it was okay. I'm hanging here to see if the clean channel on this TSL buzzes. Yeah, we'll see. You're a voiceover producer, Colby Jack. That's pretty cool. You must like Toast of London then. Stephen, it's Clem Fandango. Can you hear me? Yes, I hear you, Clem Fandango. Connector 4 on the front bottom board. Goes to connector 5 on the main board. I've got a slight buzz going. Oh yeah, because it's night time over there. The buzz can be rear PCB grounding and balance of caps after shunt. Huh. I think CJ, I'm still tweaking even with my HPF. The voice can still get boomy in a lot of playback systems. I have it at 80 Hz always, but I've placed the second less steep one at 200 Hz. Yeah. I've got to try the factory mod for the JBM 410 I've got on the bench. One of those real stupid mods that somehow works. Yeah, you should stream Clem Fandango. That would be great. This is Clem Fandango. Can you hear me, Stephen? So where are we? Con 4. That's connected. Yep, so con 2 on the front middle board. Goes to con 6 on the main board. Con 1 on the reverb board goes to con 8 on the main board. That's a really long lead. What a fucking mess these things are, eh? Surely there's a better way of doing it than this. But that's what you get when you want every feature under the sun, I guess. Con 15 on the front bottom board goes to Con 7. That's Con 15 goes to Con 7 on the main board. It's all the big con. Con 11 on the front bottom board goes to Con 9. Con 6 on the rear PCB goes to Con 10. Con 6 to Con 10. Con 12 on the front bottom board goes to Con 11. What was that? Con 12, Con 11. Con 12 goes to Con 11. Con 20 goes to Con 12. Con 18 on front bottom goes to Con 13. Con 2 on rear board goes to Con 14, which is down there. Must be the power supply. Alright, is that it? Little bias board's connected. Check everything's connected at both ends. We're good to go. This board can go back in. I got smashed by customers yesterday, and you watch today, there'll be none. So random. Let's get real confident like, and we'll put all the nuts back on the connectors. I'm a glutton for punishment. No, that's silly. We won't do that. That's dumb. Put the speaker nuts on there. The speaker output jack nuts on though, because we're using them. Ah, bugger it. There's only a few. We'll take a gamble. I like sherry cask whiskey, but I'll try them all. Alright, so you like them sweeter. Have you tried Balcones? From Texas? Victor? Got the Balcony single malt. Very strong. Got to water it. I used to do transmission testing for a phone company. 10 technicians swapping tones on each leg of the circuit until the A and Z end were happy. Your ears would ring for days. Ugh. Small diaphragm condenser SE8 over the bench is harder to make sound nice, as everything on the bench is reflective. My 57 at the computer desk is much easier to make sweet. What's the directionality of that small diaphragm there, Lyle? You think that's a maze work on a B3 sometime? No thanks. I've got a C3 in my garage, really? Got to move to the shop, got to deal with persuasion, with the persuasion not working properly. You mean? And I think the foam issue has crept in. I rebuilt an EP4 last year, worst design things. I've got an EP3 here. I've got 2 EP3s here I've got to restore. How are the diagonal power transformers in Marshall? The 1987 50 watt outputs, I've seen a few of them go. Shorter turns. Yeah, help this champion hit 50 likes. Bloody oath. I'm not using a beta 57 but a regular 57. I tried the beta 57 but it was too in your face. Huh. Gotcha. I thought I saw the... Anyway, you guys can read it. Both cardioids. Right. Brad's Guitar Garage has 8 stereo mics in his beard. Yeah, rustly. Beta 87 presence boost is great for live vocals. Ah. Your selection is bad in Hawaii. I need to get out more often. Don't you just order it online, Victor? I ain't got my handicap placard for parking. Just order it online, buddy. Yeah, Dave Jones has got it good for mics, eh? You can use any mic because he's like, hi! I'm Dave Jones, trying out a new microphone. We're back with everyone's favourite segment, Mailbag. He hasn't done one of them for a while. Not that I've been aware of, anyway. Too busy in his dumpster room. Why have I got a fuse there? What was that off? Was it, oh, it was the wrong rated fuse on the mains, was it? Slow 2, no, time delay 2 amp, yeah, that's correct. Maybe it had the wrong HT fuse. Yeah, I think I remember now. Someone put a big HT fuse in there because it kept blowing. That old chestnut. Yeah, because that's the ceramic ones that I use. So yeah, I've got a 1 amp in there now, time delay. G'day Edward, how you going, champ? Yep, mum and dad are coming to town tomorrow, so if we do a stream, you might be able to say g'day. 57 is great, but watch proximity. You can see me work at a bit in live streams. I aim to be 3 to 4 inches away at a 45-degree angle and over the windscreen and shock mount. Yeah, writing these whiskey names down. Yeah, so if you like sherry cask, well, the Redbreast 12-year-old would be a fantastic one. I'm not sure if it's sherry cask, but I think that's what you're going for. I was just saying, just out of curiosity, what stuff costs in Japan, like whiskey and even just tobacco and stuff, just to get a vibe of what the difference is. Like, I'm not gonna smoke, but it just gives you a sense of what like the tax that Australia charges is. So like a pack of smokes over here is like $55, and over in Japan it's like $4. Because I was under the impression that everyone smokes in Japan, a bit like Paris, you know. But I think they're cracking down on it, like in public spaces and whatever. Okie dokie. I'm gonna put the little cable ties back on there. Try some bourbon, the good shit though, yeah, not the generic crap. Basil Hayden's is good, especially their nicer ones. Just their stock ones are alright. Why am I dropping frames? 3 litre bottle of Jim Beam. Yeah, but what the fuck do we want that for, 6? What are you going to do with Jim Beam? Clean the windows? I just gave up and cheat heavily. U87 into Neve claim pushing gain. Jesus. Just swinging your big dick around everywhere, aren't you, Mark? Using an 87 for fucking streaming. No thanks. That would be the entire history of my YouTube income blown on a mic. Altec 21Bs. SM7 doesn't have the peak. Really? Oh, yeah, no, so I'm getting mixed up with the 87. SM7B doesn't, because you said 7B, I saw 87, because I'm going blind. ATS, not even streaming. It's for gaming. You use an 87. That is... Hats off to you, Mark. That is some serious over-specification. I love it. Let's use the U87. Why did you stop at the U87 though? You should have gone the U47 with the tube. Into a fucking Neve. Jesus, that's fantastic. Oop. Okie dokie. Let's take some measurements and fire this thing up. Don't have to worry about the dead sockets now because that's on the old board. I could spend $400 and EQ it. Just a little overkill, but yeah. No, I love it, Mark. That's some serious dedication you got there. Alright, so this one worries me a little. There's some discoloration that's not just to get a flash, but it hasn't discolored the writing. So I don't know if it's had arc damage. Maybe it's just the manufacturing, I don't know. Sometimes weird shit happens in valves. Like you'll get 2 valves out of a match set and internally the electrodes look blued on one but not on another. So I think the manufacturer just isn't that stringent anymore, boys. Now they're not using them in MiG fighter jets. Well, they probably are. Mark, you win. Yep, sure does. Phone speakers shouldn't have any trouble at all with your voice. None. If they do, it's the phone's fault. But with the EQ you're doing, you should be fine. Yeah, it's not gonna present any real issues. I mean, the upper harmonics is what gives you your intelligibility anyway, and that's why phones have the frequency response they do. I need to get the channel bigger and get mic companies to send me toys. Yeah, reach out to Time Preservation Society, man. You might have a few to lend out to you. Have a play. I forget his name. I'd like to see his channel do a lot better. He does some amazing content, like video production wise as well. I think he's gone pretty hard coming out with, like, at the point he had 1,000 subscribers already starting memberships. Like, that's pretty ballsy. But it, yeah, seems to have gotten some, so that's good. Phone's dropped really low and real low. Yeah. Darts, just like the chats. I love the chats. Yeah, that way when some 12-year-old calls you a slur, they can clearly hear your response, because that's gaming, isn't it? I haven't really gotten into the whole online gaming thing. I don't have time, but I just like playing single player stuff just to zone out, and then I don't play it for years, and I come back and play it again. Your channel's already pretty big, Lyle. It's not to be sneezed at. I think there's naturally a bit of a ceiling on technical content in general, because there's only so many people that will get into it. Unless you go the full-on clickbaity shit like Nile Red or whatever. I'll leave that off for now. Just check for microphonics. Alright. Here goes nothing. Where's my blocks? I think it's time for an Anzac Bicky. I don't think you want to hear chewing noises. There you go, old school mic, away from my mouth. Now I get a bloody copyright strike. Alright, I'm a bit cautious of those valves, so let's start with Variac, despite what Dad says. Set everything midway. Go back to the mic now, stop chewing. Set everything midway except for the masters. Turn the reverb down, effects mix down. Presence midway. Go deep switch out for the moment, VPR off, output mute off obviously. We'll go to clean channel first just to check for Lyle's buzzing. Mid boost off. Variac. We'll put the speaker in first, do the dummy load later once we've satisfied ourselves that everything's sounding as it should. Once we've satisfied ourselves, that sounds wrong, doesn't it? Alright, giving it precisely fuck all volts at the moment, but we'll just check that we've got some voltages where they should be. Probably good if you could see. Watch the smoke come out. Oh, I thought chatter just really died off, but it just got frozen for a sec there. It's just updated. No amp cradle. Nah, it's 2 blocks of wood, mate. That's all you need. Don't want another purpose-specific fucking device that I've got to find a home for. Fuck that. Got a couple of blocks, use them for everything, supporting guitar necks, you know. Got a pretty big shop, but it gets blocked up pretty quickly, eh? So we've already got 7 volts on the plates there at the lowest. At the lowest variac setting, which is, oh, helps if you measure the active, not neutral. 4 volts AC input. Got 6.9 volts. Let's move it where you can see it. Ah, you fucking, the light's fucking it up. Of course it is. Gotta find an angle where you can actually read the display. No. No. There we go. It's only a couple of 100 volts. What could go wrong? Yeah, I agree. James? How you going, legend? Haven't seen you in the chat so far. Let's start a U87 for Lyle fund. Share the overkill. I was going to make an amp cradle kit, because I do CNC stuff, so I could just give a sheet of ply to my brother. Here you go, make 100 amp cradles, just nest them. Here's the DXF files. And then sell them as flat pack kits for people to knock up. Put some rebate joins in there, some pre-drilled screw holes, and you just that way I can post them out flat pack and you just assemble them at home. But then I thought it would be a bit of a cop out if I didn't use my own amp stand, which I probably wouldn't. It's hard to sell something if you don't use it yourself as a tech. But you know, some people amp stands suit them, other people they don't. I got a pair in the late 90s when the studio closed, and so I pretend I'm cool. New ones, $4,000. Nope. So you got a pair of U87s, Mark. That's awesome. I'm assuming they've been matched to each other. Yeah, you'll buy one. The shipping might be prohibitive as usual, James, but that's how we live over here, isn't it? Alrighty, what have we got on the grids? Minus 100 millivolt. That's what we want. So what I'll do is I'll bring the temperature, bring the voltage up a little till we start getting something that's reliably measurable. -6. Yeah. Then I'll adjust the trim pots to the most negative setting, which is tricky. You've got to do a reverse background reach around. It's a bit fucking annoying, to be honest. Fuck, someone just did a massive burnout, eh? Ah, I hate working on these things. Why don't you put the bias fucking trim pot at the front, you bunch of cockheads? Got my mirror. There you are. Ah, you fucker. Let's whip it. Whip it good. That's a whip it. Minus 8 volts. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Sweet as. So that's the most negative. What I'll do now that we've established is no short circuits is I'll power it off. We got up to 130 volts there on the plate, so that consider the amplifier live. It's easy to sell stuff you don't use. If you think there's a better way to make one, you make it for those who like to use them. It's not like you're making paper and oil caps, yeah. It's a bit like pedals. Like I sell pedals, but I don't really use pedals because I like amp distortion. You both sound great as it is. No need to waste a bunch of money on a Neumann. Use it for something else like a boat or a motorcycle. Fucking oath, Curtis. I agree. Every time I get dropsy with the hand tools like that, I swear I'm going to find an old jeweler's bridge and buy it. Is that like the little tool holders? Seth? So what am I doing? Yeah. Just check the HT's draining. It's down to 50 volts. Remove the mains. And pop some meters on the output transformer primaries. Because I don't fuck around with bias meters because they're a waste of money. There's lots of techs that use them, eh? Like the bias rights and the weather things and whatever. Just use the OT, bros. So we can go straight off the transformer over here. That's nice and simple and easy and good connection point. So go to the purple, which no, we'll go white on the left-hand meter, because that's the left-hand pair of valves. Should be measuring about 16 ohms, 16.5. Go to the other one. It's tricky to get the second meter on there. Attach it to the actual spade connector. It'll give a bit of a weird behaviour when I turn this meter on because they'll detect each other essentially. Okay, is that connected? What's going on here? Why for you no measure? Why for you not come? I think I've got a failed lead, champions. Oh no, there we go. Oh, she's come good, 23 ohms. 18 ohms. I'm a bit sus on this lead actually. Maybe there's a bit of flux there. Let's tell ourselves that. Alright, so you got 16.4 on one side, 16.8 on the other side. So remember that for me, legends. They'll go up a little bit when they warm up. After you've been running an amp for a while, you measure it again and probably be another ohm, maybe. I keep getting messages, I better see who it is. All your leads are boring to us. Really? Oh, it's just everyone wanting money. Yeah, what's new? $500 electricity bill, $10,000 for insurance. Yay! Why the fuck do I run a business again? Oh, your leads belong to us. Oh, okay, I thought you said are boring to us. Alright, over to voltage. Start to give it some volts. Have some volts, amp. Let's give it some signal just to check that everything's operating. It's always confidence inspiring to hear that sine wave come out of it. Maybe not a square wave. Maybe not at 10 hertz either. What was I doing with that? I'll give you 400 hertz because I know everyone whinges about 1 kilohertz. 1 kilohertz. Give it some juice. No power usage. Oh, because I turned it off. Right. Just watching the power. Went up to 20 watts. 30 watts. Just check the low tension supply because I haven't looked at that yet. Yep, it's balanced. It's about 7 volts at the moment. Starting to conduct very slowly. Now's when we want to keep an eye on it because if one of those valves is short, that's when it's going to start to show up. One side will run away. One side is conducting, the other's not. And it's conducting very quickly. So I think we've got a problem with one of the valves. Yay! Let's just check those cathode resistors. They're brand new, but you never know. .5 ohm, yep. It's the lead resistance in addition to the 1 ohm. Come on. Bit tricky getting in there. 1.1 ohms. Alright, so I think we've got a busted output valve. Because you saw that one side ran away. The right hand side ran away. So what I'll do for a sec is I'll pop the two outer ones out. This is just process of elimination. We'll see if it does it again. Darren, thanks mate. $10, legend. Is a Mesa 290 good to learn and rebuild on? Nope. Definitely not. I've got a video on the 290. It's a bit of a bear to work on, man. Oh, am I on? Yeah. Alright, that right hand side's jumping up, not as dramatically as before. But still quite quickly compared to the other side. So the other side's not conducting for some reason. So why is that? Let's have a quick look. Just double check we've connected everything. Alright, so I'll leave it at about 80 volts and we'll measure some voltages. 167 on the plate. 167 on the plate. Oh, the screen's going. 167. 67. 67. 67. Just check that we're getting heater on all of them. 1.1 volts AC. Yep. 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 Just check the cathodes. So two things could be happening. We could be that we've still got a defective valve in there. It's just the inner one on the right hand side. So we'll take those two out and swap them over. It's the quickest and easiest way to do it. Alright, so there's a chance that it could be just the where I've set the pots, because we've got a bias and a balance. So let's tweak that over. Let's just look at the voltages on the grids now. This is just starting things up for the first time. Just getting your head around what's what. 27. 5.4, well that explains it. So we'll tweak the balance. We'll just set that up. We're using fuck all. We're using about 20 watts at the moment. So bring the valve tester tomorrow. Yes. Just enrolled in Bruce's amps seminar. Nice. You inspired me to make the next step forward in the tube amps. Well, Bruce is definitely a very good second step. I think he's a much better teacher than I. Especially because I just forgot that it's a bias balance, not adjustable bias per side, because I'm an idiot. But yeah, Bruce's classes look very good. Six was talking about wanting to go over there and do one just to experience it. That would be pretty cool. Bruce is a living legend. And he's very patient too. He's a very good teacher. Much better than me at teaching. Keep my arm away from the mains input, eh? So yeah, these bias adjustments are notoriously twitchy. Let's give it some more juice. The relays haven't kicked in yet. So we've got some leakage happening there. Sorry, didn't turn the volume down. Alright, so let's look at what voltages we're expecting. So we'll go up to about 240 on the input. We're only drawing 90 watts. So on the mains, that is 231 volt. Just detangle my leads. Oh yeah. Hi Darren, thanks for the pint. Hey, who are you donating to here, mate? So what have we got on plates? At 230 volts, we've got 475. So let's go with that for a sec, just to get a ballpark. 475. So we're aiming at what, say 55%, so 25 watt divided by 0.55. Times 0.55, you fucking dumbass. So about 14 watts, right? So 14 watts divided by 475 volts gives us 29 milliamps per valve. Multiply that by 2 is say 59, say 60 milliamps per side. Just rounding up, ballpark stuff. 60 milliamps per side. Multiplied by what, 16 was it? 16 point. We'll go an average between both, say 16.5, 16.7, say. So we're looking at about 1 volt per side, not 0.98 volt, so 980 millivolts per side. So we've got quite a bit of room to move there. Let's bring it up to 240. Let's go 245, just to set it up for worst case scenario. 240, 243. Let's go 245. 246, 245, which is pretty common out here. 245. Now where are we at? So on the DC, we'll check ripple while we're there. It should be bugger all ripple at the moment because we're so cold. So 0.6 of a volt. So we're just over 500 volts on the plates. So let's bias it for 500. 500 divided by what was it? We'll go 14 watts. Sorry, 14 divided by 500 watts. So 28 milliamps per side. Multiply that by 2 because there's 2 valves per side. So 56 milliamps per side. Multiply by, we'll go 16.4 now. We'll go up a little bit because it's probably warmed up a bit now. So about 0.9 volt. About 0.9 per side. Let's get a smaller screwdriver. This one's a bit sketchy on that trim pot. I've got proper adjustment ones here, which are good. See you, Scotty. Take it easy, champ. Thanks for joining us. Customer. Yeah, mate. How are you? You too. Thanks. Thanks again. Courier. .7. Now we've got to adjust the balance. 0.9. 0.7. She's warming up. You can hear him ticking. 126. Mate, from the mains. .9. What I'll do is I'll knock it back to 0.8 and just let it stabilize for a bit. 0.9. Oh, they're used valves, they'll be fine. Oxtail soup is done. Nice. Do you want me to quickly check if it's buzzing, Lyle? Here you go. Before you go. Sounds like it is. Hear that? That could be lights. Be this light. Maybe not. Still a bit of yielding. Yeah, it's a bit buzzy, but that's maxed out. Bring the volume halfway. Still a bit of a buzz. Gain all the way down. Still a buzz. Let's go to the crunch and lead. See, there's a buzz there. But there is, in my opinion, excessive hum too. So, might have a quick look at what's causing that. So yeah, I might piss off after this. Oh, we'll give it a quick play. Why not? But yeah, there is a definite buzz there. Is there any inkling so far on how to fix that? Most Marshall users crank the things to 11, so a bit of hum really is no big deal because they're playing so loud. Or mine only buzzed on clean. Yeah, this is only buzzing on clean, but there's a little bit of hum as well. There's a hum and a buzz. The hum's there all the time. The buzz goes away when you click to the lead channels. There is leakage. That's with everything all the way down. And there's a phase difference there. So I've got the master volume down. Hear that? Sounds like a phaser. And it's unaffected by the volume control. So she's got some other issues, and that's a new main board. So it's probably something from the front end. I have had valves that just couple from triode to triode before though. There's some strange crackling happening underneath that signal. And yes, they are electro harmonics all around. So let's try some tatties and see how we go. I don't know, is anyone still here? Should we keep streaming? 60s too, yeah. Should we keep going? We can keep going, champions. Let's see how we go with some nicer preamp valvage. But yeah, cross talk between the two triodes. I think I've had that on quite a few electro harmonics myself. Cross talk. Sounds like a new startup company for online meeting software. Alright, so V1. Let's let's take the variac out of the circuit now. Now we're confident that it's not going to go on fire. Reasonably confident. You can never be 100%. The chance is never 0. What? OBS just hit the deck. What happened then? Not sure what happened then. I think OBS just went down. Yeah, the meters will be all over the place while I'm playing because it's showing the dissipation in the output stage, and being a fixed bias amplifier, that will adjust, that will vary quite a bit. Yep, got them all done, James. The 10th one I finished at 4 PM, then we went to the pub. They're all sitting here waiting for pickup. I put up a post, the last one. Of course, the last one I had to make a metal bracket for. Alright, so we've got a new Tadian V1. Let's see how that goes. Bit of a pop there on switching too. I can check crosstalk with the signal Jenny. Still crosstalking. Ooh, wait a minute. Okay. We've got something intermittent happening on one of the front boards. Changing in level. Okay. Connector 3. Touching it induces hum. Unless I ground myself. And moving it is making the crosstalk fluctuate. So should connector 3 have been grounded? Shielded? What is connector 3 again? If that's on the front board, I'm going to have to download all the other bloody shit. Alright, so moving this cable around is making the crosstalk fluctuate and making the hum increase. So she's still got issues, yo. I suggest to myself that I structure my sentences better. I'll have a look at what Con 3 on the middle main board, middle front board is, and the number on that board I can't read because it's under a sticker, but that's the one with the clean channel on it. Main PA, clean channel. Alright, so Con 3. Comes from the input jack. What? What? Oh, that's the surround of the input jack. Well, why is it noisy? Wonder if it's the Gonna have to go and frown at this for a while, I think, champs. There's a bit of noise there surrounding that that unshielded wire. There's about 5 different con 3s, yeah. Alright, well, I might piss off and suss this thing out, but we've got it running, we've got it stable. Now we've just got to hone in on the slight weirdnesses that may be just this amp, like this model. You know, with its lead arrangement's not ideal, but I haven't seen that level fluctuation happen before on any of these, so I've got a feeling there might be some cracked solder joints or dirty connectors down on that the ground for this connector here, possibly on the board underneath. So I'm going to remove all the knobs and shit, and we'll inspect them, and at least then we'll be able to feel a bit more confident that we've looked at everything there is to look at. The output mute switch is playing up too. But anyway, I'm going to piss off, legends. So have a good bloody day. Have a good week. I'll probably not see you on Saturday. I think there's going to be a bit going on around here. But yeah, I'll see you when I see you. And hopefully the little Fafisa things are next in line. So I'll get that done and do another video on that. Hopefully get the whole thing wrapped up in one more video. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for the donations too, you bloody generous legends. That's gonna go towards the whiskey fund for sure. So take it easy. Catch you on the next one. Oh, sorry, Ben. You just joined us. Go back to the start, mate. Plenty of fun. You got 3 hours of content.